Okay, so here we are after 23 years of marriage. My wife Brooke, who is out to a church meeting this evening, has finally asked me to prepare a meal for the family. It may be surprising to you, but over the 23 years of our marriage, I have never prepared more than 2 meals, and I've certainly never cooked a hamburger, which I'm asked to do this evening. So come along with me. So I'm guessing that the best way to divide 2 pounds of ground beef into 2 individual 1-pounders is to cut it in half. So I got myself a knife here, and I'm working against the styrofoam background, and I'm hoping I'm doing the right thing. And it looks like I've been able to cut through there. And there it is, 1 good clean 1 pound of ground beef. I'm going to pop that right into my Ziploc freezer bag as soon as I get it open. There we go. Let's try it again. And I suppose if I was really good at this, what I should do is put today's date on there so that we know when this went into the freezer. Now what I have remaining is 1 pound of ground beef, which I'm going to make into 4 patties and then attempt to cook on the stove. Okay, so today is November 18, 2008, so I'm going to put that on my freezer bag here, November 18, 2008, and seal it up and get ready to pop it right up into the freezer. So here we go. I'll make everybody very happy when they take that out. Okay. So, I think the next thing I have to do is to get some sort of surface to work on. So I'm going to look down here and try to get out a sort of a wood block piece. Ooh, noisy, but here one is, right here. I think this will do. My guess is what I need to do is put the meat on this surface so that I can form it into 4 patties. Let's see how that goes. Okay, I think I'm doing great so far. Breaking this into 4 individual pieces of roughly the same size. They should be about 1/4 pound each. Then I'm going to smush them together and hope that that works to just flatten them out into patties. So I'm my first one to see how I do it. Well, it's looking like a hamburger. I think it's doing okay. So I'm wondering though if I've got these hamburgers packed right so that they don't come apart on the grill. I've tried to firm them up and get them into good shape, but I'm a little bit anxious about whether they're going to stay together. I really don't need hamburgers falling apart once I get them up on the fiery grill. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so my patties are formed up. I have 4 nice patties to go here. I'm just going to do a little bit of cleanup, clean off my knife, rinse off the packaging here and dispose of that. Then I'm going to find the Snowtop Grill, which I believe is going to be right here in this cabinet. Sure enough, here it is. This is what my wife Brooke uses when she makes patty, so I'm sure it's going to be just fine for our use this evening. And I think what she does is takes away one of the burners and puts this nifty thing right here. Now she told me earlier in the day that when I attempt this, what I should do is fill this lower portion of the grill with water. So Brooke says then what I have to do is to take some kosher salt, which I have a couple of pounds of up here, and pour that over the top. She didn't tell me how much, so I'm hoping I get the right covering here. She said what this will do, Brooke said, is to prevent flaming up, which I could really do without. Okay, so now we're ready to put our 4 delicious burgers over here onto the burner. We have our kosher salt on top of the water base, and we should be cooking with gas in just a moment. Here we go. I don't know what temperature to cook these at, so I'm going to aim for, I guess, a medium setting on the grill. I hope that works out. So, here we go. Here's our first patty, our second patty, our third, and there we have a full grill. We're all set. Okay, I'm starting to smell a little smoke going on here. I'm starting to wonder if we're going to have a smoke condition. We need to have a fan. I see a little bit of flames starting to lick up around the edges. So we don't want to hear any smoke alarm going off. I see the smoke is starting to drift towards the kitchen door. So I better be careful here what I'm doing. So I'm going to turn down the heat a little bit. See if that helps us. Okay. I think we're alright. So, while those are cooking, we're going to get that. I see a lot of smoke starting to accumulate in here. That's not a good sign. I'd say it's time for the fan. Okay, luckily we have a good high-power Hunter fan here in the kitchen. It's going to save me. In the meantime, the first thing you need to know about a red onion is that you have to remove a lot of the redness from the outside. That means taking off the outer shell. So we'll do a little bit of that right here before we start cutting it up. Turns out red onions can be a pretty messy business, so we're going to try to slice this up and see how we do. It's pretty good on the inside. Okay, so now we're going to cut up some hamburger-sized slices of red onion, which John and I will both enjoy, and I think Brooke will as well. I'm not sure we're going to get this quite right. It's a little thicker than you might want normally, so I'm going to go back and rework these slices a little bit. That should do. Okay, it looks like it's about time to flip them over. I'm not sure of that, but we'll find out. I'm not entirely sure how you're supposed to know. They look good on the other side as they're being flipped. We may be having a success here. Alright, we got them all flipped over. Nobody fell apart. I'd say that's a good sign. Cheese on the burgers. My brother's unable to come to the phone, so we're going to have to wing. Okay, so it looks like these guys are done. We're pretty close to it. So what we're going to do now is try to make cheeseburgers. This is going to greatly complicate things, but let's see how we make out. John says he would like to have both of his burgers as cheeseburgers. So let's see what we can do for him. There's one. And here's the second one. I feel like we probably ought to try to separate these a little bit. And I'm thinking that I myself want to have a cheeseburger, so let's make 3 cheeseburgers to see how we do. And we'll leave Brooks without cheese on it because we don't know exactly what she'd like to have. Okay, so we took one cheeseburger off. They move along pretty quickly here. So we get John's ready over here. This guy looks like he's not quite melted all the way, but that'll do. Very good. Very nice work. Okay, we're going to turn off our burner and do some cleanup. And so here we are, the final product. John Baum, my dear son, is eating the hamburger that I cooked. What do you think, John Baum?
Right.